Chapter 2, Lesson 2, Fractions, 2%. Our content target, students will understand that percents can be written as fractions. Language target, students will demonstrate their understanding of percents by converting percents to fractions and vice versa. A percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. 45% is the same as 45 out of 100 or 45 hundredths. Today we're going to be writing our fractions in simplest form. So 45 100ths is the same as 9 20ths. So to write 50% as a fraction in simplest form, 50% means 50 out of 100. So as a fraction, that would be 50 over 100. So we're going to write this as a fraction in simplest form. So we're going to use our numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11, and our pineapple upside down cake method, which is 50 and 100. I know that both numbers end in 0, so that 5 is a factor. 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times 20 is 100. I know both numbers end in 0 again, so I know 5 is a factor. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 4 is 20. I now know 2 and 4 are both even numbers, so 2 is a factor of each one. 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So 50 over 100 is the same as 1/2 as a fraction. So in a recent survey, 55% of cell phone owners said they text message. What fraction of the cell phone owners is this? So 55% is the same as 55 100ths. So we're going to write this fraction in simplest form. So 55 and 100. I know that 5 is a factor because they end in 5 and 0. 5 times 11 is 55. 5 times 20 is 100. 11 is the only number that goes into 11, but 11 does not go into 20. So our fraction in simplest form is 11 20ths. So to write each percent as a fraction in simplest form, we'll take the first one, 75%. 75% is the same as 75 over 100. So again, I use my pineapple upside down cake method. I use my numbers over here to help me. I know 5 is a factor again because they both end in 5 and 0. 5 goes into 75 15 times. 5 goes into 100 20 times. That should be a number that you should know. 5 times 20 is 100. Again, 15 and 20, I know that 5 is a factor of both of those. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4 is 20. So our fraction of 75 over 100 is the same as 3/4. Now for letter C, 38%. 38% is 38 over 100. So again, I do my pineapple upside down cake method. I know both numbers are even, so 2 is a factor this time. 2 times 19 is 38. 2 times 50 is 100. Are there any numbers? 2 does not go into 19. 3 does not go into 19. 5 does not go into 19. 7 does not go into 19, and neither does 11. 19 is a prime number. It only has 2 factors of 1 and 19. And 19 does not go into 50 equally. So 38 over 100 in simplest form is 19/50ths. I want you to pause this video and I want you to try letter B. Letter B is 90%, so that would be as a fraction of 90 over 100. So to find this in simplest form, I'm simply going to use my pineapple upside down cake method. I know 5 is a factor. 5 times 1, which is 18, and 5 times 20. I know both numbers are even numbers, so 2 is a factor. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 10 is 20. 2 does not go into 9. 3 does not go into 10. 5 does not go into 9. 7 doesn't go into either one, and 11 is too large. So our new fraction for 90/100ths is 9/10. You can also use the percent to ratio. Here's your percent, type in your number, there's your percent, and it'll change to a decimal for you. That's just another tool that you can use to help you. Here we're going to write a fraction as a percent. Find an equivalent ratio with 100 as the denominator. We can do that, but 8 does not go into 100 equally. So then you're messing around with decimals. So we can do this one of two ways. One, we can take our numerator, which is 6, and divide that by 8. So 8 does not go into 6, so I add a decimal, and I add a 0. Now I look at how many 8s go into 60. 8 goes into 60 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. I subtract. I have to regroup because I cannot take 6 away from nothing. So I now have 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. 5 minus 5 is 0. I still have a number here, so I have to bring down a 0. I can add as many zeros as I want because it does not change the value. 8 goes into 40 5 times, which is 40, which is 0. So my answer is writing 6/8 is the same as 0.75. Now the got it problem. 9/12 as a percent. So again, I'm going to take the numerator, which is 9, and I'm going to divide that by 12. 12 does not go into 9 evenly, so I add a decimal, and I add a 0. 12 goes into 90 8 times. Nope, 7 times, which is 84. I subtract. I cannot take 4 away from nothing, so I have to regroup. I take 10 away from the 9, and I add 10 ones. 10 minus 4 is 6. 8 minus 8 is 0. I still have a number here, so I have to add another 0 and bring it down. So now 12 goes into 60 5 times. 5 times 12 is 60. I subtract, and I get 0. This is a long division method. To help with that, it might be beneficial if you use a fraction to decimal calculator. So I can type in the fraction of 9 to 12, and I hit calculate, and here it tells me my answer of 0.75. These calculators will be put on Google Classroom for you.